The Kowloon Bay International Trade and Exhibition Centre could have been almost any exhibition centre anywhere in the world. A vast and shiny complex built on the shores of Kowloon Bay, it was right next to the site of Hong Kong's old Kai Tak Airport, where the planes used to come in so low over the apartment blocks, their wheels almost took the washing lines down with them. Hannah sat in the last but one row of the 702-seat tiered auditorium, her phone on silent, clasped in her hand. This was only the first day of the climate conference, and already she'd handed out nearly half the business cards she brought with her from London. She glanced down as her phone softly vibrated with an incoming text. She read it twice, memorized the contents, and deleted it. She got up, mouthing apologies to the other delegates as she squeezed past them. Then she was striding quickly across the thick beige carpet and out through a side door. The cloying heat and humidity of a Hong Kong afternoon enveloped her the moment she stepped outside. Squinting against the hazy sunlight, she summoned one of the red and white taxis lined up outside, climbed into the back seat, and spoke briefly to the driver. As they moved off into the traffic, she noted the number plate of the car behind, just to make sure it was not still there when she got out at the other end. A little trick they'd taught her one afternoon on one of their strolls through Kensington Gardens. But the briefing for this operation had been rather more thorough and ominous. It was a collection job, a pick-up from an agent, then a flight on to Singapore and home. But there were risks. They'd been very clear about that. If she was caught with the data in her possession, she was on her own. No diplomatic cover, no gunboats to the rescue. His Majesty's government would deny all knowledge. Hannah would be looking at a lengthy jail sentence somewhere on the mainland with no chance of an early release, unless there happened to be someone in British custody for whom Beijing was willing to trade her. Was she absolutely sure she still wanted to do this, they asked. There was no obligation, no pressure, no dated waffle about some higher cause, just a simple statement, delivered by a middle-aged woman in a charcoal-grey jacket on a bench beside the Serpentine. If you do this for us, Hannah, you will, in all likelihood, be saving an awful lot of lives. China had already been labelled a strategic threat to UK security in the government's recent integrated review. Delivering his annual public speech, the MI6 chief had made no secret of the fact that China now took up more of the service's time than anything else, even Russia. To say that the agent she would be meeting was well placed would have been an understatement. Blue Sky, every operational agent was assigned a codename, was a senior military scientific advisor to the Central Committee of the Chinese Communist Party. Recruited more than 2 years ago at a conference in Singapore, Blue Sky had the most extraordinary access to the very epicenter of military decision-making in Beijing. After painstakingly careful development by a team of fluent Mandarin speakers based in Vauxhall Cross, he was now providing London with top-grade CX, jargon for the raw intelligence that comes straight from an agent before it's cross-checked and assessed by the reports team. Contact with Blue Sky was intermittent. It had to be for his own safety. China's all-seeing Ministry of State Security took a dim view of traitors, and their careers tended to finish with a single bullet to the brain in some dusty prison courtyard, out of public sight and hundreds of miles away from their now disgraced and newly impoverished families. Hannah had asked the obvious question at that pre-mission briefing beside the Serpentine. Why can't your agent just send you the data electronically? Why do you need me to collect it in person? I mean, I'm not saying I won't do it. I'd just like to know why. Charcoal Jacket had had a ready answer for that one. It was exactly what she'd been expecting Hannah to ask. Because we simply can't take that risk, she'd replied. You probably know this already, but for some years now, the Ministry of State Security has been rolling up the CIA's entire network of agents in-country. We're talking dozens of human informants, arrested and interrogated. And yes, she paused, sucking air through her teeth, there have been some executions. So how did China manage to do this? By breaking into what our friends in Langley thought was a totally secure means of communication. But it was internet-based, using the dark web. And Beijing found a way in. They're bloody good at that, I have to admit. So, one by one, they were able to lift all the right people by backtracing them to everyone who'd logged into what was supposed to be a secure account, even turned some of them into double agents.